The Black Americans are on TikTok stating that Black History Month is only meant to celebrate Black American history. And I 110% disagree.
When you hear Black history, we're not talking about anyone from Africa. We're not talking about anyone from the Caribbean islands. We are talking about foundational Black Americans.
Now, I've seen multiple videos about those that are part of the Black Diaspora who are making videos saying that they're just now coming to find out that they're not a part of Black history. And we need to have this conversation, especially in the month of Black history, because it is, in fact, Black history. First things first that we need to be able to cover is the history of Black history, to the diaspora and how they are socialized towards Black Americans, and 3, the reality of America, the stamp that Black Americans put on it. All right? So let's go ahead and talk about the history of Black history. Black history was created by a Black American. Started off as Black History Week. It was then stamped by the president as a United States holiday. Black History Month. Why? Because he said, he being a white man, said that this country cannot afford to forget the oppression, the sacrifices, the bloodshed, the loss that Black Americans gave to this country in order to build it. Do not be mistaken. Black Americans built this country, not the diaspora. It's just a fact. Same way Black Americans did not build Nigeria. You see? Right, it's just a fact. But if you're offended by that fact, that's something between you and your therapist that you should definitely pay to get worked through. Okay, thing number 2, let's talk about the socialization of the diaspora towards Black Americans. Now, this is where you have to be very honest with yourself, especially if you come from the continent of Africa. You have to be honest that generations before you have taught you to not affiliate with Black Americans when you come to America. Literally. There's also a lot of Africans that have come to this country that have said that when white people would use slurs that they use on Black Americans on them, it didn't mean anything. Why? Because this system of racism is literally built to be aggressed against Black Americans. Y'all get swooped in because you're Black. It's not because you're a Black American. So there are certain aspects of this system that don't work on you because you don't realize that you're actually being attacked. Because the system is built on attacking historical harms towards a people group. But if you are not a Black American, you have no historical harm that is synonymous with the historical harm of Black Americans. Therefore, it does not work on you. Now, mind you, I've already told you that this particular holiday was created in order to remember the oppressions, the harms, the successes, and the work that Black Americans, those that are the descendants of slaves, have put into the founding and the creating and shaping of this country. So if you have no historical synonymous harms that resulted from chattel slavery here in the United States, and you therefore are not impacted by the full system of racism that seeks to further oppress Black Americans, dare I remind you that if you come from the continent of Africa, right, you too were fed propaganda about our laziness, but you can't even combat the truth of the propaganda because you don't even know our history. So if all of these things are true, why would you believe that Black history is a celebration of anything other than the history of Black Americans, those being the descendants of slaves? Like, we have to be mindful about not belittling the culture of another group of people because we're not included, even if you are Black by skin. Because Black people aren't a monolith. We are comprised of a lot of different cultures, a lot of different subcultures. tastes.
Hello, brothers and sisters. How are you doing? I'm hoping that you are doing great. These are those one of the hardest videos to react to. But again, you need to be a person who is truthful. You don't just do something because it's convenient. Actually, this is one of those hardest video to react to. And I respect all Black Americans. I respect all their stand. I respect everything that they believe because at the end of the day, they're the ones who fought for everything. They're the ones who made the United States be what it is. Credits to all Black Americans. On the other side, we having Africans. Speaking, I am an African. We are having Africans who are claiming that why are they being excluded to the party? Why are they ever feeling like Black Americans are alienating from him, and they're saying that they should not be celebrating the Black American history? I really want to know, what do you think about this? Because this one is difficult. By you all, I'll just be logical with my thoughts. I don't want to say something that will hurt anybody, but at the same time, I want to be logical. Speaking from my own point of view, like this is me speaking, I'm saying that as a person, as an individual, I think for me, I'm celebrating the Black American history, even at the moment. And you'll realize that since the month changed, in all my videos, I've been trying to say it is Black American history. This is the time we remember the tapestry of Black Americans and all the achievements that they have made to make America what it is. And saying that I still respect all Black folks, I still respect Black Americans because they're the ones who their ancestors shed the blood and sweat to make the America what it is today. Now, I was talking for myself because as a person, as an individual, I celebrate the Black American history, though I'm not in the United States. As a person who have at least had a glimpse and tried to study the Black American history, I think it's imperative to give flowers to the Black ancestors, to the Black American ancestors for the great things that they did, right? And also Black Americans for their resilience, for showing the world not to give up and everything that they have done, right? But at the end of the day, we also need to hear what Africans say. So I'm gonna be letting this video play, and then I'll be back. I'll be sharing my thoughts in regards to this. So let's watch the video. I'll be back.
Jargon, all that jazz. You see, I'm not from Louisiana. So when you're talking about Mardi Gras and the Black history of Mardi Gras, I don't partake in that. I have no affiliation to that history. Doesn't mean I can't celebrate it. Absolutely not. I absolutely can, by further telling that part of Black history. But the issue is that some people only want to celebrate the history that they can insert themselves in. And that's also very peculiar. Now, going on to the last part, which is the historical context of Black Americans in America and how we have actually shaped this country. This is something that if you are once again a part of the diaspora, especially for some odd reason, if you're an African in the UK, you don't understand why Black people are actually Americans. Let me help you. Black people fought in the war for independence. Slaves fought in the war for independence, which means that we were there to lay the foundational brick and blood to make this country the United States of America. That's why. That's why we're American. Our genetics, African, absolutely. We were stolen. Our nationality, we are American. Just Black American. We are African American. That's what we are. See, it's because we lost blood here for that. Right? Because since you don't know the history, you literally have England who were telling Black slaves, hey, you should come and fight for us. If you fight for us, we'll give you freedom. And literally, majority of Black people said, hold our beer, okay? We don't like them, but we also don't like you more. We're going to go ahead and get you taken care of so we can be our own country. And then we're going to run this fade back into the Civil War so we can free our people. And it is from that emancipation that Black people have been fighting for our stake in this country. Why? Because white people, including Abraham Lincoln, was trying to send us back to Africa, which is a place we do not know. Slavery for hundreds of years, and you trying to send us back, not even from where you got our ancestors from, just dropping us off anywhere. Sierra Leone, Liberia, to try to take over someone else's land and therefore create our own country. And freed slaves and slaves alike said, no, we are from here. You brought us here. We fought here. We bled here. Therefore, here we will either be slaves fighting for freedom, or we will be free fighting to stay free. And you can partake in Black history, pushing forth that history, because it is still that foundational history that allows you the freedoms that you get to experience, that makes America so attractive for you to come here anyhow. Not only for you to come here, but also for you to come here and feel free to bring your culture, for you to then establish your own communities and things of that nature. So yes, Black history is just and only full stop about African American history, Black history, descendants of slaves history. Because we have infiltrated and shaped every part of the fabric of this country. Education, science, theology, legal system, governance, all of it, engineering, all of it. All of it. Even while we were slaves. The only difference is that we couldn't receive the credit, because property can't have credit for the things that we create. Because I ask you, what reason would a white person create a cotton gin to make the process of dealing with anything cotton easier for anybody? Right. A slave probably made that, did they? Right.
I've been informed that because I am not a Black American, well, I am a Black American,
No,
but because
you're
I'm
not.
African, I was born on the continent of
You're African.
Africa, and I don't
Whatever
have
country.
any parents and heritage that is born here on this continent. I'm not allowed to celebrate Black History Month. It has come to my attention that Black History Month is only for African Americans who are generationally American, not those of us
Why is
who
her eyes
came from the motherland to America. I don't know if you guys were aware, but if I told you happy Black History Month this month, if I said anything about Black History Month to you today, I take it back.
Girl,
I
bye.
still take it back. I was not trying to offend the diaspora warriors. I would like to go back to my quiet corner of the internet. Thank
Bye.
you.
First of all, one person, because I looked through her comment section, one person told her, you're not ethnically Black, so you don't celebrate Black History Month. One out of almost probably and over 50 million people. And now all of a sudden she's sitting up here making this video. Like, girl, shut up. Y'all want to be like the center of attention so bad. Nobody cares. If one person says something to me, if I was not getting constant comments, similar comments, if I was not seeing a multitude of videos, a bunch of videos, I wouldn't be saying half the stuff I say. If it was just one person, I would be like, No, as a collective, y'all be really popping it bad. Telling us we don't have no history, saying we don't have no culture, saying everything that we've done is attributed to you because somewhere 1,000 years ago, we may have some African ancestry, and it gets to a point. Now, I don't know who, I don't know, besides that one person she said that to her, I don't really see us saying, don't celebrate Black History Month, but what I do see is Africans saying, well, we need to celebrate Africans during Black History Month. And that is what I see, some Black Americans having some pushback. No, we're not going to celebrate Africans in Black History Month because this is Black American History Month. We're in America. It's the same as y'all going to the HBCUs and doing African takeover days and Caribbean takeover days. It's why do y'all have to take over the things that we already have? Create your own. If you want to create an African History Month, Go for it. Now, I don't need y'all saying, well, what country and this country, and I don't know what country she came from. Y'all get to generalize African and call yourselves African and say y'all from the continent when it's convenient. And when we do it, it's World War III. She called herself African. I cannot specifically name whatever country she comes from because she did not say it. But the fact that this is even a thing is crazy to me. Why do we have to share everything? You can celebrate it as long as you're celebrating Black American historical leaders, Black American icons, Black American legends, the accomplishments of Black Americans here in the United States of America. But if you want to come over here talking about y'all created R&B and y'all have soul food too, and jambalaya and jollof is the same thing, and how the banjo, the drums originated in Africa, so y'all created hip hop. Don't nobody want to hear that shit. It's when y'all get to doing stuff like that is when we be like, all right, enough is enough. Enough is enough. You want to get up here and start celebrating Nelson Mandela in February, we ain't got the time for that. But if you want to say Happy Black History Month, nobody's stopping you. Y'all just keep trying to colonize things, co-opt and steal things, and make things about you and center yourself. That is where the issue comes in, like the whole immigrants build the United States of America. Like y'all be on that type of time. But stop this. Like, it's not that serious. Nobody's saying. But I mean, like, just Africans should not be celebrated during Black American History Month. That's it. And y'all get offended for whatever reason. I don't know why, but what y'all think about this?
And one thing only that African people care about, including me myself. I come to your country. I don't care where it is. I am here to make money. That's just the sad reality. But it is the reality. Me as myself, when I went to Nairobi, when I lived in Kenya, I went to take. When I went to South Africa, I went to take. When I went to Dubai, I went to take. I did not go to build the countries. Because in my country where I come from, I am poor, and I left my country because there is nothing for me to do. I didn't see any ways of getting rich in my country, so I decided to come to other countries to do something for myself. So unfortunately, I can't tell my African American brothers and sisters that when African people come to America, expect them to build with you. No, we're here to take. We are here to take. The American government, like right now, it's welcoming immigrants like nobody's business. Every African person who is in a dire situation or who sees there's an opportunity for me to get a green card, they will do whatever it takes to come to America, knowing very well that the government right now is prioritizing foreigners instead of its own people, which is not my fault. My own business is to come there and grab whatever I can. And if your government is supporting me to take as much as I can, who am I to refuse? Who doesn't want to live in America? So don't be surprised when you see these African men or African women get with older men or older women just to get the green card. That is what we do because we are in a dire situation in our countries. So we are running away to come to your country so we can have a better life because, I mean, who does not know about the American dream? And then if we come and then Joe Biden pampers us, and forgets that he has Democrats to take care of, it's none of our business. That's the reality. That's the reality. When we come there, don't expect us to build America for who? You have a lot we are here to take. That's the truth. And I know I might sound arrogant, but I'm not a person who sugarcoats the truth.
The Black Americans are on TikTok stating that Black History Month is only meant to celebrate Black American history. And I 110% disagree. That's crazy. I can recognize that the concept of Black History Month started in America, but that's as far as that goes. To then come onto this app and state Black History Month is only meant to celebrate Black American history is absurd. And you are moving like the colonizers who put you there. First, y'all weren't even the first ones freed. Second, majority of the Black figures you celebrate during Black History Month have roots in the Caribbean, who then have roots to the motherland. How can you disregard the motherland and the two boat stops before y'all? Maya Angelou, Trinidadian. Stokely Carmichael, Trinidadian. Colin Powell, Jamaican. Harry Belafonte, Jamaican. Grandmaster Flash, Bayesian, Malcolm X, Grenadian. To concentrate the celebration of Black history to just the Americas is absolutely ridiculous and contradictory to celebrating Black history.
When you hear Black history, we're not talking about anyone from Africa. We're not talking about anyone from the Caribbean islands. We are talking about foundational Black Americans. That's our history you about to learn and be reminded of. This is the 100th year anniversary of Black History Month. And I hear a lot of divisive language on this app, and I've talked about a lot of different topics on my page. One thing I want to know, and I want to hear from you guys because you love to talk about it so much, is who is Black History Month honoring? It's not honoring no one from the Caribbean islands or Africa or Great Britain. It's us.
And I hate to be the one to say it, but I really hate when y'all say mixed people only get half of Black History Month. I do not understand, like, how the fuck y'all gonna talk about y'all own people? I don't know, I just find it weird. I feel like y'all should look at it like this. If it's 1865, during slavery, if you mix, they still gonna make your ass a slave. You still Black at the end of the day. You still gonna be a slave. So they was in the same category as us. They was slaving too. You don't get a pass to not be a slave just because you're mixed. Hello? Just like when segregation was going on, the mixed people was still in the same category as the Black people. They couldn't be with the white people. What are we talking about right now? Like, I feel like y'all do this every year. Like, y'all make mixed people feel like they not a part of the Black community. Baby, they are. We all were slaves at the end of the day. I really hate the way y'all think. Like, no shade, we all Black. Why can't we just all be Black, happy together, enjoy Black History Month? Nobody gets a certain day. Nobody gets half of Black History Month. We all get the whole Black History Month. Hello, thank you. Stop saying that dumb shit. Y'all sound dumb.
Y'all irritate me so bad. It is the 3rd day of Black History Month and y'all already starting the Diaspora Wars. Are you serious? There is a post somewhere on TikTok saying that Africans and Caribbeans are not allowed to celebrate Black History Month. And let me tell you why that is false now. Coming from somebody who was born in America, born to 2 very African immigrant parents, okay? So I grew up around Africans, I grew up around Black people, I grew up around Indians. I grew up in a very diverse environment, but majority Black people. I faced the same racial injustices as any other Black person, any other African American, whether I'm African or not. And when people see me, they don't see African girl, they see Black girl. It's Black History Month. And yeah, while I recognize that it is African American history that we're mostly talking about, we're also talking about African history too. There's a lot that went on in Africa that transpired also in America as well. And then I see Africans in the comments, like Caribbeans in the comments saying, well, what are they gonna do to us? We can still celebrate it. What are they gonna do to us? There is no they and us. Y'all need to let it go for real. And then regardless, whenever I think about Black history and Black History Month, nothing in my mind pops to Africa and the Caribbean islands. I'm thinking about specifically America. Like, come on, guys, let's not be dense, please. And let's please stop dividing. This is really pissing me off. It's really not that hard. It's really simple. And Africans and Caribbeans are allowed to celebrate Black History Month because we are Black as well. Anyway, all in all, if you are a Black person living in America in the month of February, you deserve to celebrate Black History Month, and you deserve to celebrate Black Americans and Black American history, as well as the Black African and Caribbean history that pertains to Black American history and how Black Americans have built majority of America. Amen. Amen.
So on the 100th year anniversary of Black History Month, which was originally, Negro History Week, there's a diaspora war. Black Americans just requested that, this celebration has always been about learning our history, platforming our history. Anybody can come and celebrate. Just make sure you center us in that. The response has been intense. It's been, oh, Black Americans think they're the only Black people to exist. Black Americans think everything's about them. Oh, now so we can't celebrate? That's not what was said. And mind you, when have Black Americans not included everybody in the celebration? Barack Obama is not ethnically a Black American. His roots are not in this country. He is Kenyan ethnically. However, and this is how I know y'all don't actually talk to Black American people or actually don't know Black American people. You walk into any Black grandma house, you're going to see a picture of Martin Luther King, and right next to Martin Luther King, you're going to see a picture of Barack Obama or any auntie, Black American auntie. And yeah, even grandma, they're going to have a Barack Obama shirt. We have always included other people in our history. Even Kamala Harris, she is half Caribbean. She is not ethnically a Black American, yet we still celebrate her all the same. So to come on here and say we only celebrate us is so disingenuous when we're just saying center us. There's so many people across the diaspora that have directly helped Black Americans, and it's worth being celebrated. People stay saying we don't have culture, but this month is something that we've been doing culturally for 100 years. This is your chance to learn, and you're not wanting to do it. You're taking it as an attack when we say center us in something that we've been doing for 100 years. This also happened on Juneteenth. There were people coming on here and saying that we think this is our holiday and everybody should be able to do what they want with it. You can come and celebrate Juneteenth without making it about anything other than Black Americans. That's what we're saying. And again, this administration in this country is actively banning Black American history, actively banning it. So why is it an attack when we say, hey, we really need to center us in our celebrations that we created to platform us, to educate ourselves on us? Well, why is that an attack? And the fact there's no grace to Black Americans when you can see all around why Black Americans might have to be a little more strict about preserving our culture and our history. So yes, we're going to be like, hey, you can't do that. That's not the truth, and this is the truth. And that's not an attack, and that's not a call for war when we correct people. This is the last thing I'm going to say. In America, everybody is able to have their own Independence Days, and they celebrate it without the interference or without Black Americans coming in and saying, like, no, this needs to be about us. Like, are we not Black too? Everybody has their own history months, but only Black American History Month is the one that everybody has a problem with. So let me just leave you with this. This is Black History Month, and like I said, this is your chance to learn. Right now, there's an influx of Black American history that is posted online for you to learn, and you'll see the history, and you'll see why this discourse is very problematic towards Black Americans. So I implore everybody, since you want to celebrate so bad, and we have always invited you to, but especially now, actually learn about what you're saying. Actually learn about why it's so problematic that you have a problem with us centering ourselves in a month that we created.
You know, it's 2026 and I'm confused. How are people still upset about Black History Month? Because make it make sense. 13% of a country, one country, right, is celebrating their own history. The same history that 13% provides 80% of the culture for the world. Slang, clothes, music, appeal, look, everything. And you don't want them celebrating the same culture that is constantly stolen every day. If they don't celebrate it, how they gonna make more? For y'all to steal. I don't understand. How are we still mad about Black History Month while actively stealing the contributions that were made yesterday? It don't make no sense.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from whatever you're watching me from. It's a difficult one, yeah, because Africans are feeling that they are being left out, because at the end of the day, Africans are saying that we are all Black and we need to celebrate ourselves. We need to celebrate you, Black Americans, and remind you that you are one of those greatest people. But they're asking themselves this question: why are we not invited to be part of the Black Month celebration? So people add something to say in the comment section, and I think this is what people are saying, because it's not in my place to speak for everyone. I can't speak for all Africans. All I can do, I can speak for myself, and I think I just did in the introductory part of the video. Somebody said that Black history started in America. How TF you want to celebrate Black History Month when you can't respect the creator of the event? Make your own SHIT. Tell me what you think about this. Somebody also saying that no African was involved in the creation of Black History Month. Stop the madness. I really don't know if this is true or this is not true, but I can say that Black American activists, Black American professors played a significant role in shaping the lives or shaping the political realm of Africans. We have people like Malcolm X who started sending information to Africans to start revolting against colonialism. Remember when the United States was succumbed to slavery, Black Americans were succumbed to slavery, Africans were succumbed to colonization, and this is something which was happening. And so seeing Black American leaders fight racism, fight all these things, it gave up to African leaders to Africans to start also fighting for their freedom. So at the same time, there is some truth here. Do you think, this is just a question, do you think that there is no African that was involved in the creation of Black history? I really want to know your opinion because I can't speak for everyone, brothers and sisters. This is a hard conversation and I'm just being real with you. I don't want to just talk about convenient topics. No, we need to discuss about these difficult topics. And I might say things that might not make you feel good. But at the end of the day, we are talking this for us to get the right answers, right? For us to get the right answers and find the best possible way of dealing with all these difficulties. Somebody said that we're not American, we're not African American. We are Black Americans, foundational Black Americans. Honestly, about this, I don't always like putting someone into the corner and tell them, you know what, you need to identify as an African because your ancestors, first of your ancestors who went to the United States came from Africa. I ain't gonna be doing that. See, you are what you believe you are, right? So if a Black American believe that they are foundational Black American, of course they are, because we have part of history that alludes to that. So that's one thing that I cannot take away from them. But just one thing that I like to say is that all humanity started in Africa. So just think about it, right? Somebody said that I remember working in a warehouse in Memphis, Tennessee. Tennessee. I was trying so hard to befriend African immigrants here. Them Africans treat me like a bubonic plague. That's really bad. That's really bad, and I think that's part of the problem that we are having. That's why we are having this discussion. Some Africans have played part in, creating this rift between Africans and Black Americans, or African Americans for those who recognize themselves like that. But I think it just comes to understanding trying to understand each other's history and knowing the difference and knowing everything that's making people not to come together. Because there is a person who is sharing their experience. They try to befriend an African because purposefully, because naturally saw him as a Black person, but the African, it was not same for them. So it becomes so much difficult for these to happen. So somebody's saying to all the African tethers, Black history in America is for Black American FBAs only. What did fleeing Africans have to do with the culture and history of the United States? That's why I said that if a Black American believe that they are foundational to the United States, and I said, and I will say it again, we have historical documents that supports what this person is saying or what this brother is saying. So they all have rights to claim what they want to claim. You cannot take that away from them. Let's just be honest, right? I'm a person that believes in Africans and Black Americans coming together. But we can come together and people are allowed to identify with what they want to identify with who they want to identify with. That's their freedom. And you cannot take this away from them. And I think that's just fair, the way it is. And let me address the issue of African tethers. Yeah, the statement I've not been hearing for the first time. Probably, I've been called an African tether. Honestly, I've been called by African tether. But I came to understand that the same people that call me African tether today, they appreciate how I now look into things and now understand how all these things happen. I didn't say anything wrong about Black Americans. I've never said anything wrong about a Black American or anything, but I understand. People do not perceive information the same way. I might say something innocently, a person may take it negatively. And also we have Black Americans, I'm sorry to say, we have Black Americans that just by seeing an African, they already know that this is a tether. Although we have nothing to do with tethering or sidelining with the white person, I think that's the meaning of tethering or sidelining or unifying with the enemy instead of unifying with the person that looks like you. Somebody saying that the Black immigrants know they didn't contribute to building America. And that's true. That's true. They came here after everything was established by the blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors. Happy Black History Month to all FBAs. May God and our ancestors continue to guide us. True, I agree. Majority of African immigrants came to the United States after everything was established. And even white people today that claim that they're the ones who built or they're the ones who are foundational to the United States, there is nothing that they did. All that I'm saying, I acknowledge, and I say it, I'm speaking for myself because this might not align with every African, but I'm speaking for myself as a person who I've had a glimpse by studying Black American history, Black American literature. That's what I've studied in school. Black American history, Black American literature. So as a person who has a glimpse of Black American history, I can tell you as a matter of fact that it's true. We have majority of immigrants that came to the United States, especially those who came during the early 20th century, they didn't contribute to nothing because Black Americans themselves, led by the Malcolm X, through they fought for everyone to be in the United States. They played a significant role. They tried to make this thing happen to every immigrant, and not even Africans alone, Latinos, Asian Americans, white people, right? So it's true. Somebody saying that what's wrong with these people? What's wrong with celebrating your history from your homeland? Your only history is where you are from, whether you were born here somehow. If your family was not here while America was being formed and built, you are not foundational to America. You are only here to benefit from what we built. It's not a rocket science. Build up your own homeland, record and celebrate the history of it. That's fair enough. And that's logical. It might sound harsh, but that's fair enough. That's really, really logical. I'll add by saying this. It's true. Because even back, let me speak for myself. Even back, and I've been speaking for myself, by the way. Even back in the motherland, here in Africa, Kenya specifically, we have our own of celebrating our legends. And probably Black Americans don't know that. They don't celebrate with us this. So it is fair for them to leave Black Americans celebrate Black History Month. I think that's just fair the way it is, and he has said it the way it should be, right? Somebody said that please do not address no brown-skinned races all around the world as black. Nobody never wanted to be black. With the only people been saying for years, say it loud, I'm black and proud. All of a sudden now in 2026, everybody wants to be called black all around the world. All brown-skinned people want to be called black. Now what's up with there you all go copying us again? Somebody said that. Somebody also said the Black History Month has been around before some of these people were even born. It is an American thing because white people are always celebrated in America. It was a movement to show Black American celebration after being discriminated on in America. Why is this topic so confused? Black history celebrates all inventions and accomplishments to the U.S. Patents over hundreds years. Why is 2026 this an issue? What Black American goes to any African country and intersect the celebrations? Culturally, we've been doing for 100 years. So I want to think about that. Somebody said that this shouldn't be an issue because Black history is the struggle and the commemoration of Black Americans and not for immigrants who came here because we and the civil rights movement. Africans should commemorate and celebrate their history month in their own country. True, which makes more sense because what do you want to commemorate here and celebrate as an African between the commemoration of that horrific transatlantic slave trade and the terrible living conditions that Black Americans had to endure here? from which this condition, this country arose. Some will also say that she take it back. She never wanted to give it. Let's keep it real. Nobody likes us having a Black History Month dedicated to all of us and achievements of ours. So they sabotage it by using it to celebrate their culture, then say, we all black type she. Then point out every black immigrant in American history. They forget those black immigrants, they didn't make it their own countries. We say a lot of things. Brothers and sisters, please let me know what you feel about this, what you think about this, right? Because we need to have these harsh conversations, hard conversations. It's not as smooth sailing always. We need to have these tough conversations, which is true. So please let me know what you think about this. I'm your host and presenter in Chitek Stories. But until then, let me see you on my next video. Peace, love, and harmony. Salute.